Tell me your story.
I was this close to dying from a brain abscess that was misdiagnosed.
Good to know people care, though.
For a lot of people, the MRIs are clear.
You said you had a lot to tell.
Oh, yeah.
Someone said,
I thought it was normal to have like seizures by yourself all the time.
You definitely will feel guilt a lot.
I so appreciate you putting this together.
thank you.
So our icebreaker today is, what age would you go back to if you had a choice? And for simplicity's sake, let's just say you keep all your knowledge.
What age would you like to stay forever?
Kind of have two different answers.
Okay,
Because
let's hear both.
if I have the knowledge that I have now, I wish I could go back to when I was like 14 and not make all the stupid mistakes that I know I made now. Like now as an adult, I would go back and do some things differently. But if it's just like pick an age and that's when you're stuck, forever, it would probably be when I was about 40, 35 to 40.
And what inspired that one? I'm curious about whether it relates to the epilepsy or seizures at all.
No, I mean, not necessarily. It was actually has more to do with I think I was happiest at that point in my life.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to think about on these, because going back with how you phrased it about going back to like the teen years and getting to live it out, I still don't think I would. I don't remember anything compelling enough to actually go back and do anything different and not assume that something now might be drastically different. So
I have a couple
um
ex-husbands I might not have had.
but that's the thing. I mean, the baby's with them.
That's what I was thinking. I know the exact moment.
It's not that I want to not have my children. It's the fact that I wish that I would have waited and had them at an older, more mature time in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a better way to look at it.
Because I was in a
I don't
real
know. I
big
still think
hurry
things are
to.
getting better. I can't narrow down an age that I would like to stay forever, because I still think things are going to get better.
You guys are still so young.
I am
Shit, it
happy
better get
where
better.
I am. I'm sorry. I look good. For the most part, I feel good. My epilepsy is at the best it's ever been. And I am in that 35 to 40 year range.
Yeah, I feel good. To answer the icebreaker though, if I could stay one age, I think my prime was around like 22. I was finally able to do things. Like I did get epilepsy. I would say younger if I didn't want epilepsy, like 15. But then if I was 15, there's a lot that cancels me out, like going to bars and stuff. Not that I go to bars, but stuff you need to be 21 and older for. Yeah, I think 22. I think my six pack was finally on the decline, and yeah, I didn't
Make
work
sure
No,
to
out
I
as
put
was
much.
that in
sexiest
the
at 25. 25 was my sexiest. So that's what I would go back to if it was just for like how I actually felt. Seizures were still around, but I could never really go back
I
to that
think
part
my
where they weren't,
ass
because I was
looked best
diagnosed so
about
early.
30.
I think I
Oh,
looked my best. Oh, that is strange. I don't know. I think I looked my best when I was. I think I look my best right now.
Yeah, so if
I'm gonna be honest.
yeah, me too. If I could go back to 21 with like this mind state and my seizures in control, then I would have been doing really good. If my seizures were under or at this state to 3 to 4 a year, then I'm pretty good with that. But other than that, yeah.
Now, if I could go back to a particular age with all the knowledge I have now, I know the exact point. I was pregnant with Jeffrey, and my mom had come out for a visit, and she was going to the airport, and she says, I brought an extra suitcase. Do you want to come with me? That is where I would go back to with all the knowledge I have now. That is when I would go. And I would say yes.
Is that major different decision?
Yeah. That would be the major life decision that I would change.
So that's your turning point moment.
Yes.
Yeah, plot twist. Awesome.
Yeah, like I said, mine would be around, what's it, 21 to 22. 22 was better. 22, I wasn't treated like I had just, like, you just started being able to drink alcohol. 22, I was already into it. I mean, I wasn't drinking as much alcohol, but that's when people were like, oh, we can't tell him he can't drink anymore. He's finally 22, not 21 anymore. It was like that when I turned 18. He was like, oh, you finally think you're doing something because you're 18. Still live in my house.
I mean, if it comes down to that, what age would you like to stay forever with the rights and the knowledge and, that you have now? I definitely would have gone back to like pre-diagnosis times, like 16. Because if I could have everything I had, knowledge-wise now and the family, but just with the high school body without seizures, hands down, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, if we look into this question pretty deep,
I
we could all
would've-
come up with different answers.
I would have gone home. I probably would have still had the seizures and been diagnosed. I just would have been diagnosed here. I might have fallen in with Duke sooner because I would have been in North Carolina. So many things could have been different, but the main thing is I would have had Jeffrey in a safer environment. And of course, with the attitude I have now, which is, I think my parents actually do know something instead of they're just old hippies. They know nothing.
That's the perfect thing for Jeff to come in hearing first. All right, Jeff, let's hear the feedback on that one. All these young ones talking shit about parents who thinking those old hippies don't know nothing. But now, later in life, we recant on that and appreciate that sometimes the older generation know a little something.
Wait a second.
I
Our
mean,
parents
we
didn't
have to
know shit.
recant on that, otherwise the
Us
new
as a
won't
generation.
listen to us.
All right,
Maybe your
Toaster,
parents
give him
were
the
okay.
full story.
My parents came from an earlier generation, and they were assholes. They didn't know anything.
My parents came from your generation. And I wish I could go back to an earlier age and know that they actually know something.
I gotta
They
go,
know
guys.
about war.
I'll
We'll
be
see you
back
later,
after a
Adrian.
while.
Take care of the kiddos.
We'll be right here.
Right.
Yeah, they know war. They protested that shit.
Right.
They
Exactly.
know shit.
I've been protesting since I was 12. And I
Yes.
still haven't stopped.
Neither have they.
But my parents never protested.
Okay, so my dad works at a university. And you might know that with all the stuff that's going down with Israel, there have been protests all across the country. First protest on his campus. The chief of police on campus stayed with him the entire time because he was worried about my dad getting caught up, and because my dad is the Hillel advisor, he's the kosher and
The chief
Liaison.
Jew on
yeah,
campus.
pretty much.
That's better.
That's the way to put it. He was the chief Jew on campus. And but later on, he was in those marches too. Because he doesn't like what's going on. He doesn't like what he is seeing. My dad still has that. And I'm proud.
Well, your dad's cool. We know that.
Yes.
I've known that for a while.
I've known
I'm
that for a
gonna-
while. I wish I knew it longer.
I don't want to comment on that because I don't want to start a political discussion. So
And we
I do.
respect your opinion greatly. What age would you like to stay forever, Jeff? That's our icebreaker today.
I would like to stay 22 forever.
That's what I said.
I had just lived through the greatest 3 years in musical history and seen many of the performers performing. And thanks to Toaster and Angel, you're going to read about it tomorrow. And no, I'm not ready because I'm going to go eat. Kate, I didn't use the tripod because I'm going to have to get off in a few minutes, at least visually. The tripod's great, by the way. Thank you so much.
Okay, so this time when you're actually have it in front of you, that's when you put sometimes the part that actually holds the phone is really tight and like hard to get it to fit right. So definitely get
It
it
is.
situated in, while you're sitting down, and you got this. I don't have to explain mechanics to you. I'm just so proud.
Actually, Liz is going to set it up.
Liz is a
I have
boss.
trouble doing any tasks these days. Before I went to the dentist, she had to tie my shorts tighter.
Liz is the best. Oh my God, she's cool.
Hey,
Oh, she is living a dream. Another mentor.
I think she's living a nightmare having to live with me lately. And she would probably agree.
Yeah,
your
you'd be
personality
surprised.
makes up for everything.
Yeah, thank you.
You have a lot of personality, and you're very wise.
It's funny because when I developed epilepsy, I was depressed for 9 months. I could have had a baby. I was in bed most of that time. And then I decided I might as well enjoy every minute I have left. And that's what I do. I love being here. And I love my life. I have the best wife in the world. And I just love my life.
Life is good.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
So on what age would you like to stay forever? Does that bring you to your answer?
No,
22.
I would like to be 22, way before I met
Okay,
Liz.
sorry, I'm having one of those days too. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
now you answered.
Yeah, 22. You just right now at 22 with Liz at 22.
Oh, that would be perfect.
See?
The problem is, if I was 22 with Liz, I probably wouldn't have seen a lot of the music I did. Liz and I have really different taste in music, whereas my ex-wife and I had incredibly similar tastes in music. And anything I wanted to see, she wanted to see. And like I said, Liz and I have totally different tastes in music. But
This is starting to sound like my parents.
but everything else makes up for it.
Well, they do have an overlap, but
Yeah.
my dad actually cannot stand Jimmy Buffett.
Really.
Yes. He can't stand it. I don't know what it's funny if he knows. Okay, some of the sillier songs like Volcano and Cheeseburger in Paradise. Some of the songs like Bubbles Up and one particular Harbor he's cool with. I don't know. I just find it funny.
Opposites
Is,
attract, eh?
and your mom,
Hmm.
does your mom like him?
Oh, my mom loves him. She's the
Oh,
one that
okay.
turned me into a parrot head.
Okay.
She's been following him since his start.
All right, when
All
Mark
right,
comes
you
back, we'll
guys.
get his answer. Go ahead. You get it started.
What was everybody else's answer?
Mine was 22. That's because I was just on the body type decline. I was just like 6 pack was just fading around 22. I could have went without it, but that was the prime. I was doing a lot during those days. I was having fun. At 22, did I have kids? Yeah, I had 3 by then. So yeah, if I would have been 22 forever, I would probably have the 3 that I have now. Yeah, those were great years, man. Hey, Jocelyn, you're right on time before we move on.
Hello.
The
What
icebreaker
age?
is,
Oh,
if
good
you
age.
could stay any age, what would it be?
Oh, that's a hard question
Right, that's
because
why I picked it.
yeah, I know. And that's a hard question because I become happier the older I get. But my body doesn't become happier the older I get.
When did they start disagreeing?
Um, right around 40. So maybe I'd prefer to, but man, I'm so much happier now than I was at 40.
I mean, you get all the wisdom and all that. You just go back to that.
Exactly. And I know I got so much wisdom. Got so much wisdom after this horrible health year, right? I mean, man, I want to stay this age mentally, but I want to be physically in my 20s.
Same.
So take the brain out and put it in my body when I'm in my 20s. That's what I want. That's my answer.
That's what I went with too.
Yeah.
And Toaster and Mark, what did you go with?
I finally settled on. I actually am very happy where I am now physically. My seizures have been the best they've ever been. My metabolical rate has finally slowed down. I'm not going weight wise. It's just I'm here and I'm happy and I like it. So yeah, right here. I'll stay here.
Cool. And Mark?
Yeah, um, I don't know. I kind of agree with Toaster. I would stay here. Not necessarily because happy or the best condition I've ever been or whatever, but just, I don't know, this is not a bad place to be in. I don't know that I was necessarily happier when I was back in my 20s that I am now. I don't know how much of that was maybe just an illusion of happiness. Mm, kind of born of ignorance, maybe not knowing what all was coming and what necessarily actual happiness felt like. back in my, my early 20s, back in my 30s. So, yeah, I'd be here. I can't jump it forward in time and get more wisdom points, right? So I'll stay here.
There we go.
See, I would agree that I wasn't the happiest at 22. I'm much happier now, but I was healthy and there was great music. And I saw a lot of it.
So Mark, if you could go back like 5 to 8 years, you wouldn't do that?
No, I'm good. 5 to 8 years, I was really drinking or at the tail end of coming off of drinking. It was important to go through, but not something I want to go back to,
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Toaster kind of made me kind of think about it. About being the me now. Feel like I'm in my prime now, so yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Lupin, did you get a chance to hear the icebreaker today?
did not.
Okay, so we've got, what age would you like to stay forever?
Me?
Yes.
Maybe 8-ish, maybe about sorry, I mean 18, around 18 years old. Why? Because I don't have to think about all oh my god, all the thing happening in this world. I don't know. I'm not saying that family is a burden. No. It's not saying, I'm not saying that it's not like that. But it's 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 hard to explain about it, but it's
Take the hard one.
yeah, it's not a burden, but it's a real world, it's the real world. We have to find money, we have to we have to yeah, something like that. Yeah, you maybe you understand what I mean. It's hard. It's really hard. And with my downgraded sickness, illness, it's make me more hard to live with this world, I've become lost of easy to lost of yeah, epilepsy.
It is hard. Was 18 before epilepsy manifested in you?
Yeah, that's right. In 18 my I think my brain is still, it's not that I'm sorry to say this, but it's not this stupid. I'm sorry to say that, but
You're okay.
It's all right. Say how you feel.
And right now it's really downgraded, it's like easy to forget something, and then uh many things like this you can you all can see like right now I'm forgot, I'm easy to blank, just want to say
Yeah,
something
my
and
memory
then
is horrible. You're not alone. My memory is ridiculous. I don't remember
yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Goldfish.
I want to say something and then suddenly it's blank, like,
It goes
and
poof.
poof. Yeah,
Right.
that's right. That's right. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Exactly. That's what I mean. You understand what I mean? Yeah, we are
Exactly.
on epilepsy. We are on epilepsy. Epileptic.
We could be in the middle of saying it, and it
Yeah,
just go
yeah.
bye.
And but sorry if I, yeah, if I don't use webcam because I'm using a PC right now. I don't know, my cell phone, I have a problem with my cell phone problem, so I'm using a PC right now.
That's perfectly fine. Lots of our friends come with camera off. It's your
Yeah,
comfort level.
yeah, I'm sorry, really sorry about that.
All right. Whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Thank you guys, thank you.
We're just happy you're here. And speaking of which, I have to go. I'll be back soon, hopefully within the hour.
Okay,
All right.
Toaster, see
We'll be
you.
here. I got something, guys. It says my husband is, oh, it says second seizure in 2 weeks and still can't see a neurologist. My husband is 42. He had his first seizure while sleeping on September 1st. We went to an ER for a CT and blood work, came back clear. We had our primary doctor do an MRI because neurology had months long wait, and I was clear too. No EEG yet. Thankfully, someone canceled and we got moved to September 25th, but that doesn't feel quick enough. He just had his second one last night while sleeping. I called the neurologist and begged them to see us sooner, but they didn't have anything open. The ER didn't provide any medication. He made some lifestyle adjustments, cut back on caffeine, not completely to avoid issues, but 400 to 500 milligrams of 1200, from 1200 to 1400, sleeping more and trying to drink more water. I contacted primary care and he was willing to do a referral for an EEG. What questions should we ask a neurologist? I'm so nervous. First comment says, if you're able to think of it, try to video record his next one. If it happens, start keeping a daily log of activities, the weather, food, drinks. I'm dealing with the neuro stuff right now and have been referred to a bunch of stuff, including epilepsy specialists.
I made the mistake
Yeah.
too many times before these kinds of appointments to, I don't know, I think of it as trauma dumping now on the tech doing the EEG. So I have to always remind myself that even though I do need to get it together, plan on talking to the doctor at the follow-up and not expecting the tech to know anything. So one thing at a time, not only recording the events, what these mean, just tackle it like a checklist. When you go into the doctor's office, ask about the actual seizures. If you want to go in the direction of like what causes them or what does him turning to the left and then falling right, something like that. And then go to the medicine. Why did you change the dose? What led to that decision? What can we expect? What do we need to watch out for? And I always just like to have the idea, especially at the beginning or when there was changes, what counts as an emergency? Like what should actually be concerning? So maybe that'll give you a little peace of mind if you can get those main things covered and well understood. Don't accept anything from the doctor that doesn't make complete sense. I really hope everybody can get to that point. What about you? Jocelyn, I'd love to hear what you have to
Oh.
say.
For mine, I mean, second seizure in 2 weeks, people go through that all the time. I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but the ER isn't going to do much. They're just going to do what they can for that moment of how you're feeling in that moment and then send you home. So yeah, I know people going through multiples in 2 weeks. It just sounds like you might be new to this. That's what that sounds like. Got to get used to this. 2 in 2 weeks is not uncommon for some, but you don't have to go to the ER every time. Just make sure he's okay, doesn't hit his head. I say a lot. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm really distracted by
So
Jeff.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm really distracted by Jeff
Put up a
because
tripod.
it looked like it was his ear.
He's putting in his tripod. I don't know. I wasn't looking at his ear. I was looking at you and everyone else. Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions this person should ask a neurologist? I think you just like the other person said, keep notes and be ready to tell the neurologist. But I don't think 2 seizures in 2 weeks is such a big deal. At the moment, it'll get better, but for now, it's not worth stressing over. Personally, that's my personal opinion. You guys?
I mean, whenever I have an appointment with a neurologist, I definitely have a list of questions ahead of time that I want to ask. And so that's my advice is take a list of questions and bring a friend or a family member because it's very overwhelming to go to a neurologist appointment. They're gonna say words that you don't understand, and that's okay. They're very, they're doctors who go to, they that's my advice. Write down questions and bring a friend or a family member who can be there with you to write things down. I mean, I went to an appointment to a neurologist and I started crying, and my friend was there to take notes and be my support system, and it was really helpful. So that's my advice. Write down questions ahead of time and bring a friend or a family member.
Maybe ask them if it is okay for you to audio record the appointment for you to be able to go back and listen to for your own notes and understanding. That and I think definitely I absolutely 100% agree with Jocelyn. I always take my mother in with the appointments with me. I think that they perhaps, I don't know. I feel like they might take me a little bit more seriously because there's a third party uh, witness to what had been happening, and that firsthand account from the third party to be able to relay was very helpful initially. So that and audio recording.
And if you get, I hate to say bad, but I'm going to say the word bad. If you get a bad neurologist, there's someone there to witness them.
I agree. Ivan, did you get the gist of this question?
Yes, I agree with Jocelyn and Mark. We should bring some kind of not some kind, sorry, someone who's become like relay, yeah, that's right, Mark. Relay who witness our because we are epileptic person and our brain is already yeah, sorry to say this, but it's kind of disabled. It's kind of, I'm sorry to say this, but for me it's already like disabled. So I need to bring my wife each time I see a neurologist. So yeah, it's really need someone to friend need a friend, need some kind of friend to bring to neurologist. That's all from me.
I
What are
got
the
something else here.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kate.
I was gonna ask you about the comments on that one. Go ahead.
There was only one comment there. I read it. I got something here though. It says my boyfriend complained about taking care of me. 29-year-old female, have been friends and dating my boyfriend, 51 years old, for 10 years. We got into an argument yesterday and he made a comment that I will never forget. Typically, when I wake up from a seizure, I feel so horrible that he had to rescue me and guilty, and I'll cry. And he says, "Don't worry, it's not your fault, baby. This is why I'm here. It's part of the deal, honey. And I feel so loved and cared for, and he will hold me and pat my back and just rock me to sleep, basically." But he said something different yesterday. Yesterday, after my episode, he let me know that he is sick of taking care of my seizures and that he, end quote, didn't sign up for this, and that he, end quote, would like to have a real life, but no, I'm stuck here constantly on call waiting for you to seize. I will never forget this. Just looking for support. It's time to leave.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he really cares about her. I mean,
Yeah.
it sucks to
Leave
have to
before
take
you
care
get
of
left.
someone, but it sucks to have to take care of someone, but you know, something's gonna happen to him one day. It might not be, might not be epilepsy, but it'll be something else. No one's gonna live
Yeah.
forever. No one's gonna be healthy forever.
Correct. Me personally, sounds like a situation where it's not going to go good. So I leave before I get left.
I mean, I
Worked
think
out
it's
for me,
time
I
for them to
guess.
have an honest conversation. That's what I think.
Right. Honest conversation. The first comment says I can't even read the rest of the post because of the age gap between Tahab and their boyfriend. The amount of time they've been in a relationship with him. Since she was 19. Person was 41. Wow. It's a big age gap. She's probably been so going through so much for 10 years. Second comment
They've
here
been together.
says,
They've been together for 10 years.
been together for 10 years and she's 29 now. She was 19
Oh, I'm
then.
not going to say anything else then.
He was 41. That's been her life, basically. That's all she knows.
What's coming to mind? Nobody picks the right one that young.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ipan.
No, it's yeah. For me, it's just unbelievable, because because it's different in me. In if it's already been married, it's different with if I just it's just in a relationship together, of course. But
She's 19 and they've been together for 10 years. She was
No,
9.
she's
No, she's
29.
29 and they've been together 10
She
years.
Oh! Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
still though.
Still, 19?
Yeah. I understand. I understand. Yeah.
41-year-old should have kids at 19. He
Yeah,
has
okay.
children that age, if not older. Um, yeah, that's a tough situation. Like I said, that's probably all she knows is him because she's only known him. She's known him since she was 19. Yeah, so I can see how she's really going through the needing support part from here because, yeah, it's all you know. Probably know all of his family. He knows all of your family. Yeah, another comment here says, I'm honestly more concerned about the fact that a 41-year-old would date a 19-year-old. That's where we're stuck at too. Someone says, what a effed up thing to say. I would reevaluate if you need him in your life. If you didn't choose epilepsy, who would? Another one says, I don't have anything to say after I read the age gap. Please don't let this man ruin your self-worth. You definitely should know better. Epilepsy shouldn't define us. We are so much more than that. Again, I'm so sorry. I'm mad for you right now. Right. Jesus Christ, are these people for real? I rarely take the liberty of giving advices on what people should do in their own relationships, but honestly, dump his sorry ass. My boyfriend saw me having seizures for the first time. We were only a couple weeks into dating. While I was down on him, he barely knew me, but still took care of me and kept going for 8 years after that episode. So what makes the difference between a man and a boy? Dump him. Yeah, she went from epilepsy to sexual content fast.
No, that's what I thought too, but she didn't say going down on him. She said while I was down on him, as in like at a low point.
Well, it was all in
Makes
caps.
a
So
lot more sense.
it's all caps while I was down on him. So yeah, that jumped in between
Okay.
there. Hey, take it for
Oh,
what
it can
you
be taken either way.
right. So another one says, I'm so sorry. Please do not let him make you feel this way. It's not your fault, and you should never feel that way. You're not worthless. You are a young, you have a whole life ahead of you. It's not your job to take care of a man who can't even bother to help you when you need it. Kick him to the curb and look forward with life. It's not as easy as it sounds. To the curb and move on. Okay. I got something else here, you guys. It says seizure, question mark, or question mark. I had what we believed to be my first seizure. My daughters were there, and I said that when they walked in the room, I was standing in front of the mirror. Mirror has a story that is paranormal on its own. My forehead was bleeding a little. It was positioned on the top of the dresser. I only want to get hiccups like this. And my forehead was bleeding a little. It was positioned at the top of my dresser in the corner and wasn't a heavy mirror by any means. One of my daughters started screaming at me because I looked over at her as I was going to sit down on the floor, and my face shifted to her, and I looked over to her as I was going to sit down on the floor, and my face shifted to her, and I supposedly was staring at her with a huge frown, no facial expression other than that for more than 10 seconds. And then I started foaming from the nostrils. She panicked and then threw the Gatorade in my face. And when she did that, I guess I hopped up and started running down 3 flights of stairs out into the street where they both followed me and grabbed my hands and pulled me as hard as possible to safety. Then I became incredibly frightened and started running back up the stairs to where I remember little flashes of something dark chasing me, and I ran so fast with all my might up those stairs I came to. The higher I got up, I felt myself becoming more and more aware of my surroundings. Then I was scared for the girls because of this, whatever it was or wasn't chasing me, but they weren't too far behind and just grabbed me, started comforting me that we weren't in danger. Afterwards, I was incredibly tired and felt quite sick. Normal seizure? No. And before anyone else comments that I need a Dr. ASAP, please, that's not what I came here to talk about, just a little support. I got this though. I am educated enough to know that I need a doctor, which is why I made an appointment directly with a neurologist. Thanks. Hope someone here just has some insight and advice. They just said they weren't looking for insight and advice, I thought I read, but at the end they said they are looking for insight and advice. That's rough. That's a situation I try to avoid. So when I do this, my kids either hang out in the living room, and the days that we're not doing things, where I'm not doing things, I do not go in public with my children for that reason. Because I've always imagined that happening, being that I've been wandering off for my past few seizures. Yeah, I cannot imagine myself running into the street and his kids sound like they're big enough to drag him back to safety, like he said. My kids aren't. My kids aren't strong enough to bring me back into the house or anywhere. If we're in public and I decide to do that, they're just gonna follow me just because I'm dad, and that freaking sucks. Yeah, so that has crossed my mind a bit. I don't suggest being alone with children. I mean, can't really help it sometimes. You don't have anybody there or significant other or whatever the case, but yeah, that's a rough one. Try not to be alone with the kids as much as you can. Or yeah, Jeff told me to get a lock on the door. It's not gonna help. To get a lock from the outside. You would literally have to lock me in my room for me not to run away. Yeah. Because I've wandered off from here and people were here and didn't know I was wandering. Yeah, wandered off and left home. And yeah, so I think a little touchpad, maybe with a code, might have someone notice. But being that I'm an adult, people don't exactly go, hey, where are you going? So then I find out what I did outside weeks later from other people or cameras on buildings and stuff.
And you
Stuff
don't
like
always
that.
take your phone when you wander.
Yeah, I almost
So it's
started
not like
wandering yesterday.
those location things could even help.
Why not put on an
Also,
Apple
before you
AirTag?
leave, yesterday, I kind of figured out, we really need our phones because yesterday I left my phone in a lift and I was stranded. And that's when I was like, we need these phones. These phones are lifelines. Like I had no money because my cards are connected to my phone. I had no way to call for a ride. I called for an Uber to get there. So I'm sitting outside waiting, and then eventually I asked the company, can I use your phone to call my phone? And yeah, luckily the guy brought it back, but Lyft, they charged me $20, and then I tipped him $10 just for bringing it back when I shouldn't have, because Lyft was going to give him $20 anyway. And I didn't know that happens like this. So yeah, it was a $60 trip just to go down the street, basically. $20 for the Uber, $10 for the tip, another $15 for there and back. Crazy. And then food. I told my sister, I could have walked and saved about $40. Yeah. But yeah, to this guy, I don't suggest being alone with children. But there's two comments here. One says you definitely need to see a doctor ASAP and not be using Reddit for this one. Another comment says this is one definitely. Doctor appointment ASAP. I have never known seizures present like this, but I am not a doctor. I've known seizures to present themselves like this. Actually, I'm not sure if I ran off. Well, no, I didn't. I don't know if I ran or not. I just know I woke up somewhere that I was not. Jeff, did you have something?
I just said you should put an Apple AirTag on your belt loop or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. AirTag. Very good idea.
This
I
way
thought
you
about
can't get
putting it on the
lost.
dog. For some reason, I
And
had
if
an
you're
idea to
wandering
put it on the
around, they'll know
dog.
where you are.
Say that again.
If you're wandering around, that somebody could know where you are.
I wonder would it fit my wallet. I thought about putting it on the dog once upon a time just to see where he goes, but yeah, that is a good idea. Okay, I got something here. It says, what's the difference between seizures and panic attacks? I'm sorry if this is a dumb question. I feel my symptoms overlap and I don't know the difference. Thank you for all who read this and help me. Seizures and panic attacks. I don't think I've had panic attacks.
Yeah, I've had, excuse me, I've had panic attacks. And the best way, I mean, it's hard to describe the subjective difference. Once you've had a panic attack and whatever like focal seizures feel like for you, you can tell the difference, at least in my case, I guess. I can tell the difference just right off. They feel different, but the best way to uh, know the difference like beforehand would be the context that you're in. Um, if there is something around you, something, some impending event or some sort of like a uh, um, like tunnel or something, some context,
Threatening thing.
yeah, something threatening, some reason to be panicking and something, you tend to know what you're panicking over once you're kind of tuned into what it is. Um, the so once you're aware of that, it is a lot easier to know whether you're having a focal, um, uh, you can exclude that if there's a definite cause for your panic that you know. Um, but yeah, it's hard to write out the in words what the sensations are and how they're different from one another. Um, and I don't know if mine are necessarily the representative. Maybe a lot of other people's panic attacks do feel exactly like uh, their focal seizures. They might have that particular part of the brain that's actively seizing, and they might go into a genuine panic. So in that case, I'm not sure how they would be able to tell the difference or if they'd be able to tell the difference. So um
What
yeah,
about
it's
breathing?
tough.
For like
Huh?
breathing patterns? Do you notice any difference with like breathing patterns? That's what I always assumed was the most noticeable one for an outsider.
Um I mean, I don't hyperventilate. My breathing pattern doesn't change during my focal seizures, so I don't know about that. I do tend to breathe a bit more deeply and rapidly when I'm having a panic attack. But um, I had never thought of that to pay attention to any sort of change in my breathing patterns. I'll need to think about that next time I'm having having a seizure, like note after the fact what happened with my breathing. So thank you. Has anybody else here had panic attacks? Like real
Not me.
honest panic attacks? No?
I think what I had, I don't know if that was an aura or not, but it was just a really weird feeling. It was the impending doom feeling. Is that what they consider a panic attack as well? I was
Uh,
panicking. I was panicking a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's what what a lot of them feel like the impending doom. Mine, I don't genuinely feel like the impending doom as much anymore now that I know what's happening. It's kind of just oh my gosh, it's happening again sort of thing. So it doesn't feel as much like impending doom so much as um it's still happening kind of thing. But I guess in both cases, it's still a sort of dread sensation. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, just Googling it on the off the bat, you can see the first thing they say is there's a broad spectrum of symptoms for both. So it comes down to kind of what you said at first, just to know yourself best. And where I'm going to come in is take notes. Always take notes of both feeling, what the circumstances are. So maybe there's different triggers for each one for any individual, and anything that can maybe give you something to think about and focus on might even get you out of it sooner. That's a good question.
Got something other than that then? Another question is it okay? Is it okay for me to get mad at my family was talking about my epilepsy the other day and my aunt. We've been through this so many times. Okay, go through it again. Is it okay for me to get mad at? Family was talking about epilepsy the other day, and my aunt suddenly said it's all because of those phones. And I got so mad at her for blaming all the suffering I went through on my phone. Is it a valid reason for me to get mad, or is it an actual fact? It's been 6 days. How are you so many people still finding it? I don't think it's a phone for having seizures, especially if you have epilepsy. I'm assuming you do. Oh, well, yeah, you said talk about your epilepsy. Not sure if what's it called, signs can be considered or around the. I don't know if a phone is a trigger, is what I should say. Hey James, your phone ever triggered a seizure?
Hold on. I got put on mute. Wait, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. For some reason it said I was put on mute. But anyway, my phone? Like what do you mean? Like just using it or
I'll read the first sentence again. It says my
yeah.
family was talking about my epilepsy the other day, and my aunt suddenly said it's all because of those phones.
Uh I I I don't think so. I think that's more of like one of those like conspiracy theory type things. Like when cell phones were like newer technology, maybe. I've never heard of that or
Me either.
had a doctor mention it to me or anything like that. So I think that's just kind of like one of those conspiracy theory type like they're out there all to get us or birds aren't
Yeah,
real, they're all cameras and like all those crazy like lizard people type things.
yeah, gotcha. I don't think a phone's gonna cause a seizure. What I do believe is when my earpods tell me they're gonna mess up my ears because I've been in my ears too much, too loud this week, and it gives me reminders like that. I think they just give you those reminders just so you don't sue them. Be like, we told you so. You shouldn't listen them to this high for this amount a week. Then I don't listen. So I go to the first comment. It says you're valid to be angry in your aunt's ignorance. Ask her what she thinks what she thinks was causing seizures before the phone existed. Would love to hear her answer.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Like I think I mentioned it before. My grandmother had epilepsy due to a head injury. My dad and uncle don't have it. It was she was, let's see, she was 14 or 15-ish. So this was like 1930. And she was at a jazz concert, and back then all soda bottles were glass. So some dumbass thought it would be funny to just take a Coke bottle and just chuck it into the crowd. And my grandmother was the lucky one that it hit in the head, and she had seizures her whole life after that. So like I said, she was about 14 or 15, so she never touched a steering wheel her entire life. I mean, maybe she touched one, but she never drove a car. She never had a license her whole life because of it.
Is that
And
why you have seizures? Well, that's not actually. It's not.
I
That
don't
was
know, because I don't think so. Because like I said, my
not
dad and
hereditary.
uncle, don't have it, and she never had them before that head injury.
Yeah, that was a dumb
So
question.
I don't think it's like a hereditary thing, because my sister doesn't have it either. It's
Do,
just
do
I'm
you know why
just the
you have
lucky one.
seizures?
What was that?
Do you know why you have seizures? Have you got a cause yet?
No, I mean I've had a few like pretty good hits to the head in the past. Um, so maybe just repeated like head injuries. Possibly when I was younger, I used to do a lot of like BMX. Like going to skate parks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I hit my head a few good times doing that. I knocked myself unconscious one time. So so I mean that could possibly be one of the reasons, leading to it. And I've had a couple of other ones. And then it's also kind of like a big what's the term, like catch 22. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like you get a head injury, so then you have a seizure, so then they take away your license, so you have to ride a bike, which means you then crash on your bike and then have another head injury and then another seizure, and it's it's like a big circle of never ending, like.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
I got something else to keep you at the mic for a second.
I
The icebreaker today is, I just forgot. That's insane.
What age would you like to stay forever?
Ooh, I would say probably my like young 20s or so, young early 20s, before the seizures got bad, before I got married. So wish I could go back and undo that. Yeah, probably like young mid-20s or so, I'd say.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go back to the post about is it mad? The girl asks, is it wrong for her to be mad? One of the comments here says, who knows? Maybe it's the EMFs. What's EMFs? We'll come back to that. It says my daughter has autism and at 18 started having seizures. And every TC she has had her phone in her hand and Bluetooth headphones on.
EMF, as far as I know, EMF is some kind of frequency, something like that. As far as I know.
Okay. It says electromagnetic fields. I would assume that's EMF. Okay. Another comment says, don't get mad, educator. Before phones existed, didn't have seizures. That's a known fact. I think that was sarcasm. One more here. It says, my effing grandmother said that to me when I was a teenager, and I haven't talked to her for years, if that helps. So basically, yes, you can be mad. Of course, you're more than enough right to be mad. I get mad at dumb stuff sometimes. Oh man. This one says, it says, my neurologist won't prescribe me stronger medicine because I might hypothetically have a child. I've been on Keppra for a little over 2 years and still have active seizures. It helps a little, but I still have 5 to 6 seizures a month. I asked my neurologist if I could get on a stronger medicine, as the nurses in the ER said I needed to be on one last time. I was there for a grand mal seizure. My psychiatrist even said he'd send my neurologist paperwork so I could change the medicine I'm on, which, in quote, he never forgot. He would prescribe me one because it would, in quote, cause birth defects. And I explained to him that I'm not pregnant, I'm epileptic, and probably won't get pregnant, but I will definitely have more seizures. He still wouldn't prescribe me better medication. Obviously, I don't want to give birth to give birth defects, but I'm not going to get pregnant. I'd rather be on a stronger But if I'm not going to get pregnant, I'd rather be on a stronger medication since I've had to alter my life and active seizures that might have been solved already. If I wasn't a cis woman, personally, I value my very real health that has an extensive record of being problematic over the hypothetical baby that I could be hypothetically have, especially since non-causing a birth defect, because I'm very careful I will not get pregnant, is much better than having to constantly feel exhausted because of the Keppra. Has anyone else had AFAB, capital letters? So that's something. Has anyone else AFAB had this experience? I'm not sure what that was, but
The only thing I'm seeing is assigned female at birth. So maybe they're some kind of trans. Oh, you know what? If this guy's going to the neurologist presenting as assigned female at birth, now living as another gender, then that's even more unreasonable for the doctor to refuse a different medication because of potential birth defects. So yeah, any trans or non-binary or anything like that, the doctor's definitely taking it out on this patient. Get a new neurologist.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.